Hello, Mr. YouTube. I'm making this video today. It is a Monday afternoon. I'm making this video on how homelessness helped me to not give a crap about what other people thought of me. And I was homeless back in the 80s, basically eating out of dumpsters. I didn't know why. All I knew was that I had to survive. And I had no money, I had no food, I had no job, I had no place to live, I had nothing. I was sitting out in the middle of nowhere with no food, no shelter. I didn't even have a guitar to play. And I didn't care. I was just roaming around. I was probably had some serious mental illness, but a lot of that was probably from the Marine Corps and stuff, and just some of the things I went through as a kid growing up, where we were treated like, well, as kids we were just treated like secondary humans, is what I would call it, being a second-class citizen. Back in the 70s, you were expected to speak only when spoken to. So that's kind of it's a killer for your self-esteem. But regardless, I got out of the Marine Corps and I ended up homeless because the dad had killed himself and the stepmother had taken his property. One of those classic American stories. But I always had a weird way of being able to laugh about the absurdity of life, and that was because I was homeless. One of my first encounters in being homeless was living on the beach. I think I was probably in my mid-20s, and I was laying down by a fire pit. Ooh, it's got a little storm here. Good thing I'm inside the house. I was laying by a fire pit and just kind of trying to go to sleep to the embers of the fire. So I was kind of smoky and dusty and ashy and stuff. So that's just par for the course, when you're living like that, you end up being kind of, smelling like smoke, burning fires and stuff, and cigarette butts. You got that weird, funky smell to you. But anyway, so I was living on the beach, kind of roaming around, and I fell asleep. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, another co-bum, I guess we'd call it, like not a co-worker but a co-bum, was urinating right next to me, next to my head, just taking a pee right next to my head. And, I guess he was standing there because the fire was still somewhat kind of warm, But that was one of the first times that when I was homeless, that I really realized that the key to actually becoming happy is to not give a rat's ass what other people think of you. I would dig in the dumpsters, looking for cans, bottles, whatever I could find. And I was completely oblivious to the world around me. I had a bicycle. I would get a big black bag. I would get on that bike and I would just ride trash can to trash can into the park. And then I'd grab a bunch of cans, as many cans as I could possibly grab and throw in the bag. And then I'd drive them up to the recycle center and then cash them, maybe make $2-3 a day with all my canning. And that's when I really realized that people always talk about how, I wish I didn't care what people think. But I never really kind of gave much thought to that because I was too busy trying to survive. And when you get put in a situation where you're homeless and you're hungry, you know, and your only option is to pick up cans so you can go get like a piece of pizza, or you might even find a really good piece of pizza in the garbage can. You ain't gonna care what other people are thinking when you're rummaging around in a dumpster. And that's kind of how I live my life for a long time in my 20s and maybe even the early 30s. I just didn't care. Kind of helped me later in life when I did finally get a job and go to electrical school and get my life together somewhat. That things just stopped bothering me. Wow, it was really raining out there. Oh yeah. We got a storm coming here, Johnny. But you know, that's one of the keys, ways of not really caring about what other people think, is maybe try putting yourself in a situation where you can't afford to let people know what you think or what they think about you. Go out there and be a bum for a while. So, very short video, but that's a tip on how to maybe stop giving a crap what other people think about you. Yeah. And enjoy your life, because one thing I've realized, most people are worried about themselves. They're not really worried about what you're doing. Yeah. That's my advice for now. Thanks for watching.